Hi everybody. So, first video officially on the channel. I look like a mess. I'm aware. I have my hair tied back because the video we're about to record. I have opened a bakery side of my business. You may have seen it if you follow my TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. So, I started baking around a year ago and I'm trying some new recipes. This one was requested by my mum, specifically for her, and I'm just gonna go and say it. Right now my mum has just been taken to emergency hospital. So I thought I would make her a nice sweet treat for when she comes home, because we don't know what the results are gonna be. She's got high blood pressure, she's been feeling ill, we just wanna make sure she's okay. So she didn't wanna go. This is her reward. So I'm gonna go in the kitchen and I will see what that like to find out what we're cooking. So, welcome to the kitchen. Still not finished. Gets a bit messy every now and then. It's gonna be clean before I do my event this weekend. Don't worry. So, just gonna pick it there for a second. Yes, I'm in my pajamas. It's a home baking day. So this is a recipe book that my nan let me borrow. It's from the 90s, and this is the recipe that my mum wanted to try. They are strawberry palmiers. I think that's how you say it. It's basically just sugared puff pastry with whipped cream and strawberries. My mum doesn't like strawberries, so I'm substituting that with her jam that she has. So I'm gonna put my apron on. Let's get going. Don't judge the apron, it was cheap and cute. So this recipe just says packet puff pastry. I normally make pastry from scratch on event days, but we're being lazy. I have packet puff pastry, we're gonna use it. So first, wash the bread. Now I do the stereotypical British thing, which is I wash my hands and then I wipe them in a tea towel. Again, not baking for an event, just for fun. Puff pastry from Tesco, cheap-ish. Probably cheaper to make it from scratch. I'm too lazy for that shit. It says frozen puff pastry, thawed, so fresh out of the fridge. Same thing. So it wants me to read the recipe for the first time. Roll out the pastry on a sugared surface. So I have this chopping board. It's for bread, gluten food. So any pastry dough, I stick it on this one because it's all gluten in together. If I did gluten free, I probably use a different surface, or I just really thoroughly wash this one. So it just says sugar. Now, it also wants to be caramelized later, so we have these little granulate sugar pots that we make tea from. I'm just going to use that to sugar up my surface. So, now we have sugar. Ignore the laundry basket, by the way. That should have been done upstairs. We're doing lazy home baking realness, let's be honest. So, okay, so packet. This is a 320 gram bag. Salty should only use 200. This is the closest you're gonna get, unless you make it from scratch at home and weigh it out, which I am not doing. So, we're just gonna unroll it and pop it face down onto the sugar, because that's what we need to do. This is basically baking paper. You can use it as baking paper. I'm not. I've already cut some baking paper for the tray that I'm using, so there's that. I always should. That's a packing into the packaging for it. It's all recyclable. There's no recycling. This probably isn't actually, so this is normal. And in the recycling. So, we've got that. This is to roll it out to be a 30 by 25. This already looks pretty damn close. So I'm just gonna roll it out a little bit more. And then we've got to roll it up. Good old trusty rolling pin. So we're also supposed to sprinkle the top with sugar because both sides need to caramelize in the oven. So, and you're back here. Trying to make a mess. So, we're just gonna press that in and roll it a smidge more. Mostly rolling it up to give us a bit more. I was gonna say length, but it's width, isn't it? I went to A-level maths. I know things. Never guess what grade I got. It's a bit sticky. I'm gonna say that. It's a little sticky. So now we're going to take the short edges and roll them in on each other. This is the fun part, just to see if I can actually do the thing. Am I aware you cannot see anything right now of what I'm doing? Yes. This is what I have so far. You're gonna take your side. Try your best not to ruin the pastry edge, which I have done. I know how to bake, I promise. What I'm doing is I'm just doing that to the edge of the pastry to try and lift it from the cutting board. And it seems to be working okay. There's a couple bits that are a bit more stubborn, but now I'm just gonna rotate it this way to make it easier for myself. Okay, what is going on with this side of the pastry? Why is it not picking up properly? Ooh, ASMR, lovely, except for it's very soggy that side. Okay. We're going to... How to desogify a side of pastry. Some people say you can add water. I'm gonna give that a go. I'm just grabbing a little bit from the sink. Don't make it weird. It's not weird, it's creative. So just gonna add some water to the edge of the pastry to try to make it a little less gunkified, which it is kind of working. Thumbprint in the pastry, my god. Good thing this isn't going to an event. I will admit, I've never made sweet treat pastries before. I don't know why this side is being such an ass. It really shouldn't be. It's very sticky. You know what? We are going to... Because this side is rolling beautifully, right? It's the other side that isn't. So, we're going to try again. We're going to pick up all of the pastry. It's got sugar already in it, right? Just going to make sure it's not as sticky. I'm going to try to make sure it's not very sticky. This is not the most amazing way of doing kneading dough or pastry, but what we have. So there's already sugar infused into it, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna just sprinkle some water down. Instead, to try and stop it from being sticky. Now, round two, and this time we don't have the original rectangle to go by. So we are simply going to pick it up, put some, smooth the water around a bit, flatten it out, roll to your heart's content. Okay, so now even the roller pin is sticking to it. Interesting development. I'm just gonna, okay, that's better. So the main thing with this right now is that it's gotten very sticky and I'm not 100% sure why. I've worked with puff pastry a couple times, just mostly in pasties, make cheese and onion pasties. But I've never had this type of issue before with it, so I'm a bit confused. Because, see, it's just sticking. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. So, what do we do? See, this is where troubleshoot brain comes in, right? Because this isn't working. So, tell you what, we're going to try. We are going to take some plain flour, sprinkle over it. Plain flour tends to make things sweet. I've noticed self-raising can be used in sweet and savoury things, but plain flour tends to give it a bit more of a sweet flavour, I found. So I'm just putting some flour over the top to try and stop it from sticking so much while we roll it. There is sugar in it. I am going to sprinkle sugar directly onto the pan, onto the tray, and also onto the top of the pastry as well, just to try to avoid, really, it not caramelizing, because that's what it's supposed to do. The top is caramelized. Trying to think of what I could talk about while I just do this rolling. What's your guys' opinion of caramel? I'm not a lover of it. I don't particularly like it. I'm not the biggest fan of super sweet things. I have a sweet tooth for chocolate, and that's about it. My sweet tooth kind of begins and ends with a good piece of chocolate. Is there anything that you guys would like to see me make on the channel? Because this is going to be a little bit of a series. I'm knocking my phone around, right? Just realized I'm recording in... Oh, shit. Bloopers. We'll just fix that. Better, not great, but better. So, ignore my dad's charging cable. So yeah, this channel is going to be basically just fully for the small business that I run, knitting videos, baking videos, the whole 9 yards of what I do. Now, we have something, so we're gonna, oh yeah, see, this is rolling up a lot nicer than the previous attempt. So we've got to roll this both sides. So we're just rolling. So this is now getting a little bit thingy as well. So we're just going to sprinkle some flour over both edges to try and do most of the work for us. This looks very weird. I promise I'm doing the thing. So this is now what we have. It's not the best looking thing. We're going to add some flour on top just to try to stop it from sticking so much, and up this side as well, just to try to stop it sticking. So now we have to press it together to join the two rolls into one. So some of these are going to be a bit smaller than others, but we're just home baking. This doesn't have to be perfect, just whatever you want to do. So I'm assuming that is going to be good. So now we need to cut it into slices and start putting them on the tray. So I'm going to wash my hands first. Now, I would like to point out, I'm aware that this is going to be a short video. I'm going to try and work out another video today or two. This is just the easiest thing for me to make right now, so we're doing this. So now I'm going to grab a knife. Have a knife. We're going to start chopping them. They're not going to all be the same. Something's going to be smaller than others is what I'm trying to get at. So we're just going to try and pair them up based on size. See, this is obviously quite small. So first things first. And we're just going to continue that process of moving it over for each and every one. So this one is a little bit bigger, but it's going to be partnered with Mr. Small. We're going to leave them a bit spaced apart so that they don't, you know, stick together in the oven. Okay, we have that one. You can kind of see the swirls in that one better. Cutting them to be roughly the same size because they will be paired up when they're finished cooking. So we're just gonna try to pair them up. But whichever one is the biggest one is gonna go on the top, on the bottom, obviously. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use this because this isn't a very good one. Here's another one. There, see? That is what we're going for. Now, once all these are cooked, obviously there is still more to do after that. So just a quick shot of what they look like before they go in. So those are in the oven. They are on gas max 7, which is the equivalent of 220 Celsius for anyone with an electric oven. It says for 12 to 15 minutes, turn them over when they start getting brown. So I'm just putting them in for 5 minutes at a time and checking them every 5 minutes for when they go brown, flip them over, do the same on the other side. Now, I made a mistake. I'm gonna own it. I made a mistake. You do not sugar bake paper on the tray. Just water it or leave it. It says dampen it. I don't see a point in dampening it. I'm doing twirls in the kitchen. So we're gonna wait. I will come back when I have to flip them around, which should be in about 2 minutes. My nifty. Not so nifty. That is the edge of a knife. So I'm gonna check these. These are my baking mitts that I use specifically for picking up into the floor. I honestly can't really tell too much. They do look like they're starting to brown a little. I'm going to put them on for another 2 minutes. See how they look. And then we'll flip them. Shit. Set that for 2 minutes. While that's doing, we're going to have a chat while I whip up some cream. I have a stand mixer. It's very loud. I'm going to put it in the bowl, get it ready to mix up, but I'm going to do it by hand first. So, how the fuck do I open you? I have to say that, okay. Get out the fucking thing. I'm having a fight with them. Bit buddy thing. So, we're gonna so, we're gonna put some in here. That's probably enough to do some whipped cream for those. We're gonna basically just whip this. So, have it on. I'm gonna do this first and then we'll be back to do that. So, to flip them, we are going to grab, where the fuck is it? We're gonna use this cake spatula. We're gonna hold the tray with this. Where it's gone. Flip them. Flippity doo da day. So now those have all been flipped. We're gonna put them back in. We're gonna put these in for a good solid 5 to 10 minutes is probably what it's gonna take to cook them the other side. So we're gonna put them on for 5 and check them. Back to the actual schedule programming of whip this shit with me. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about is just why don't I make this now? I did promise a video like that. There's probably going to be a longer one eventually. when I have the patience and the time and energy. But long story short, shit. Cut that out. Cut all of this out. Unless you want to laugh at me. But basically, long story short, I grew up loving baking, and I now taught me from a very young age how to bake. Mostly little cupcakes and sponge cakes, really. That's all we really baked. And I also learned how to knit as well, which is where the knitting comes from. So basically this business is turned thanks to my nan, which is fine. Like, you know, that's a really nice story if it was just that, honestly. There's also, I'm sick. I'll admit that. I want to say that it's not possible. I'm disabled. I have multiple chronic health conditions that impact my everyday life. But one thing that I refuse to let it affect is my hobby. So I make do with what I have for being able to do my hobbies. I bake despite my health problems, and I knit despite my health problems, and I started originally with knitting because it was something that I liked doing. It was creative, it was a creative outlet, and I could actually sell it, and it wouldn't cause too much strain on my education. Then one day, I took a batch of my famous carrot cupcakes to my university before summer break, and my friend said, you either start selling these or you're going on Great British Bake Off, because I will pull up the application and force your ass on it. So that summer, last year, I started starting my baking. There's been bumps in the road, of course, but I can quite confidently say I have never had a bad review. And I think that speaks volumes. I'm about to turn 21 at the end of the month. And I'm making my own birthday cake this year. I'm aiming to make it 3 tiers, 3 different flavors. This is getting me nowhere. It's bubbling, but that's all it's doing. But, long story short, with the business, it originally started out of my own comfort. What can I do that's comfortable for me? And then I thought about it. Baking for people, knitting for people. It can give other people comfort as well. And worst timing possible. Put it on for 2 more minutes. The point is, this started as my comfort, and then I realised that I could give other people comfort. And that's kind of where it started. I always saw my hobbies as a way to pass the time when I wasn't feeling well. Or I have to give up baking because I'm too sick. That realization before I changed my attitude was horrible. And I've had many realizations since that where the career that I want, I cannot do it the normal way. I have to find an alternative because I'm too disabled. For anyone who wants to know, the short of it is I have chronic migraines, PCOS, a permanent hip injury, and many other problems that are probably not diagnosed. I struggle day to day with pain, and it's awful, and chronic fatigue. Sucks. But I found something that works for me to make me happy, keep me occupied, and it really curbs my anxiety as well that I'm not productive enough. Because that's an awful anxiety to have. 24/7, I think I could work 24/7, still think I've not achieved enough. This business, these videos, these hobbies that I've turned into something I can profit off of in my own time, in my own health, make my own livelihood from without having to put myself into constant harsh days, I'll say. It's helped a lot. A year ago, I wasn't in this business, really. Hadn't started selling my baking or anything. Today, I can confidently say I am booked out for the next 2 months on events. And that feels awesome to say. I have maybe 3 weekends free for July and August. That's insane. I'm also just finishing up my undergraduate degree. I'm a third year student. Just got a few summers left. But I'm doing part-time postgraduate in October, applying for it soon. That's also insane. I'm gonna be back. They're done. First time ever making this. And that's what we have. Now it's such my setup. If I could say anything about how my life has gone since starting this business, it's been tough still, but knowing that I have these things I can do still that make me happy from it, people like you might enjoy watching. That's enough. That's enough for me. That's a bit depressing colour. I'll do a more full explanation video another time. But for right now, we've got these to make. So, while those cool, I'm going to give up on my dream of hand whipping this. Chuck it in the stand mixer, and I'll be back with you when it's done. Hey guys, so I've just finished putting them together. They're a little messy. It's my first time making them, and it's also doesn't have to be baker's quality. Right. Here we are. I've also got 2 in the fridge, in a little container because my mum is getting a bit worried in the hospital, so I might go visit her later. But that is all for the baking video today. I will be recording when I do my next event on Saturday, so I will be recording on the Friday. Another 1 or 2 lovely baked goods if I can. And those will be ones that are actually to be sold. So we'll see. I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video until the very end. If you made it this far, congratulations, you dealt with me for a while. Like this video, I guess. Subscribe if you want to, and I mean, leave a comment for some other things that you might want to see me bake. I do have a bunch of older recipe books. I've got one, this one, which is from the 90s. I have another one from the 90s upstairs, and I have one from 2011. I know that's not old. I know that's not old, but I'm older than that book. But, you know, these are recipes from a book. If you want to have me experiment a little bit with my own recipes, I'll happily do that as well. I would like to kind of announce some video series that are going to be coming up, because it's going to be my first video, or maybe my second, going up on the channel. So sorry for that weird cut. My phone is running out of storage, so I gotta make this quick. So some of the upcoming series that you guys are going to see, I'm doing a game craft series where I play an episode of a game, and then the next episode I make something from the game. So my first 2 series of that is going to be Minecraft and Overcooked, 2 very comforting games depending how you play them. And I was also going to be continuing with this little baking series, maybe vlog some events if I can, so that you guys can see the business in action, and then maybe do some streams, which I will also link in the description to my Twitch. Some gaming streams, hopefully, or some puzzle solving streams to be interactive with you guys. But I think that is all from me that I can think of. It's been a long time since I've been in front of a camera, so please bear with. We're figuring this out together. But yeah, comment some bakings that you would, or games or whatever that you would like to see me do, and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.